Right, okay, I'm starting. Right, I'm going to talk to you today about some of the things that our students are doing with social technologies. It's a bit of a whistle-stop tour, give you a flavour, example of platforms we use there, but fundamentally the things that we're really interested in are creativity and curiosity, developing their own identities, remix culture. Here's an example. It's a couple of screen grabs of student blogs. We get all of our students to set up a professional online presence on independent open platforms. They don't necessarily say they're students, they talk as if they're professionals, they develop their show reels, it's like a living, breathing CV. We've got a great track record in terms of students' work being picked up, jobs, etc. Do a lot of work with them looking at not only creating media, but thinking about how content actually spreads online. Why do people share? When do they share? Lots of work around remix culture, looking at copyright, alternative forms of copyright. So really kind of position them to be able to basically make informed decisions about their content. It's an example of mobile creativity here. We really do encourage them to use mobile platforms as well. Nice example here of a student who's constantly making music on his mobile phone, uploading it to SoundCloud, taking screen grabs, sharing them on UGFL, all of that quote from him over there. So this idea about creativity on the move rather than being tied to a desktop. Further development of this, our Elvis project, which is a growing international project. These are images from last year. We work with 3 universities in New Zealand, France, Germany, and now Colombia as well, to put our students in international teams, big Google hangout there, getting them to make short films using their mobile devices. The main thing, the things that's so important to us here is ideas. We want our students to be idea generators. Okay, have really good ideas, and as Walt Disney once said, ideas come from curiosity. So we really want to think about how we can make our learners curious again in an increasingly kind of controlled culture where mitigation of risk is very much part of their everyday experience. So how do we make them curious? So what we did a couple of years ago, we ran a module as an alternate reality game. The idea was to inject mystery and intrigue into the curriculum to see how far learners would go beyond assessment just because they were interested. So the module was advanced multimedia, and these show the main themes in the module. What I did this year was I took this out as a topic and made a transmedia experience the module itself. So basically set up a fake identity online a few months before these students had started at university, started populating it with lots of content. The idea being that we really wanted them to go beyond what was there, move beyond assessment, to dig deep and to question everything. Have a sense of wonder. You know, everything's amazing, but nobody's happy, as Louis C.K. said. We want them to view the world with love and with, you know, possibility about the kinds of creativity they can experience. So here's an example of some of Ruthie's online platforms. Ruthie was actually myself and a friend. Lots of clues in there, lots of videos that we wanted them to watch that they weren't being assessed on, but by hiding subliminal messages in 2 of the videos, brilliant. The students watched all 40 of them. So yeah, things like that. And we wanted to end in a big event as well, so got the BBC to agree to let us broadcast their mobile phone films that they haven't made yet on the big screen in Exchange Square on the 9th of December 2011, which was basically the last date of the module. So here we go, how to get from there to there while lying to our students and making them really paranoid so that they have this intense curiosity that makes them want to learn. So our device was this series of numbers that went to the home addresses of half of the students. Freaked them out, yeah, again, learning through paranoia is our latest pedagogy. But they got really into it, solving puzzles, cracking codes, there's stuff all over the web. All of these numbers meant something, led them somewhere, as I say, subliminal messages in videos, everything kind of tied up across all these platforms. So they were kind of living transmedia rather than reading about it. The learning behaviours themselves were fantastic. They became really inspired, and they started to want to turn this kind of weirdness back around on our mysterious characters. They're like, let's make films about Rufy Franzen, we'll put them online, we'll freak him out, not realising that Rufy doesn't exist. But it was great, really creative approaches to storytelling started to emerge. The night before the reveal, Rufy invited them for a live web broadcast. They were really excited. They thought we were going to finally see Rufy after 12 weeks of gameplay. No, they had 2 black glittery skulls, yes and no, and a white fluffy penguin that flew from skull to skull, according to the answer to the question. And as James said, best TV programme I've watched in ages. By that point, it was fever pitch, and we had one more surprise. At 11 p.m, we put this video online. Charles Ledbetter, actually, we got him to record a personal message for our students explaining that he wasn't Rufy Franzen, even though they'd started to think that he might be. So that blew their minds. They're thinking, who the hell is Rufy Franzen? Why is Charles Ledbetter talking to us? Whoa, so this is the day of the reveal, 91211, and all they knew was this was a password. They knew where they had to be, they knew when, but they still didn't know why. So with this password, they go down to Exchange Square, and they're following a series of 4 square check-ins and QR codes, and the final QR code that they scanned dialed directly through to Phil Chapman, who runs the BBC Big Screen, who pressed play on the videos. They turned around and saw their work online, and their heads blew off, and it was all great. And then they remembered that actually there was something else, Rufy, where was Rufy? A bit worried about that bit, but thankfully, once they got over their initial shock that the entire module had been a lie, yeah, the reaction was fantastic, as you can see here, and it was this really deep engagement through what was essentially, it was a really special experience. As I said, this was 12 weeks of gameplay. Talking about very quickly now, there were peaks, there were troughs, there were highs, there were lows, there were tears, as often mine. Yeah, it was quite a full-on experience really, but something that I think we all gained from. So yeah, I'll leave it there now, but as I say, I think my overall message is about the potential of social technologies for creation and connecting, and that, so to me, are the 2 really important things about what we're doing here. So thank you.
Thank you.